Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
After a month of hiatus, Roman Reigns finally returned to WWE last week on Monday Night Raw. This week, the OTC confronted Paul Heyman and attacked Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker with the help of Jey Uso. Following this reunion, it is expected that the original Tribal Chief and Yeet Master will face Heyman's alliance at SummerSlam 2025. Earlier, it was rumored that Roman would lock horns with Seth Rollins at the forthcoming Premium Live event in New Jersey. However, Seth Rollins' injury has forced Triple H-led creative team to cancel the rumored SummerSlam showdown. Triple H should avoid booking Roman Reigns in the main event of SummerSlam 2025. For those who might not know, this year's biggest party of the summer will be a two-night PLE. Meanwhile, Triple H's creative team should avoid one huge mistake, which could damage the babyface image of Reigns. WWE should avoid booking a tag team match featuring the original Bloodline as the main event. Instead, Triple H and co should give the main event spot to a CM Punk vs Gunther World Title match. The Best in the World recently won the Gauntlet match by defeating Braun Breaker. This secured him a World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. A world title is considered one of the most prized titles in the company. Considering its weightage, WWE should prioritize Punk vs Gunther title match as the main event for the biggest party of the summer. Despite being a two-night show, the sports entertainment juggernaut should not book Roman Reigns as the main eventer of the PLE. Reigns main eventing the biggest party of the summer might receive a negative reaction. The head of the table is indeed a megastar in the sports entertainment juggernaut, but still, his match is not worthy enough to headline the show. The rumored tag team bout is not expected to have any stakes other than being a rivalry match. Booking Roman Reigns and Jey Uso's potential tag team match could generate a negative reaction from the fans on the internet and eventually tarnish the image of the OTC. This is why Triple H made sure not to make his mistake at the forthcoming MetLife Stadium event. Roman Reigns must compete in a major singles match following WWE SummerSlam 2025. Following SummerSlam 2025, WWE must book Roman Reigns in a singles feud against Braun Breaker. World Wrestling Entertainment has already hinted at a Breaker vs Reigns singles match. With the company potentially booking the OTC in a tag team match at SummerSlam, they should prefer to move forward with a singles rivalry between the new big dog and the head of the table. This will help WWE establish Breaker as a more prominent star and garner him significant attention from fans due to his involvement with Roman Reigns. As the days count down to SummerSlam 2025, the air inside WWE's creative meetings is thicker than ever. In one corner of the sleek headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, Triple H, the man now steering the entire WWE ship, sits with his hands folded, staring at a massive whiteboard plastered with storylines, possible match outcomes, and names scribbled in every color marker known to humankind. And at the center of it all, circled 3 times for emphasis, is the name Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the longest-reigning modern champion, the anchor of WWE's post-pandemic resurgence, and a man whose very aura has carried pay-per-views to record-breaking gates. But under that aura now lurks a growing question: is the Roman Reigns saga starting to overstay its welcome? Triple H knows he stands at a crossroads. Every decision he makes now will echo far beyond SummerSlam. It will shape how the next generation sees the Bloodline storyline, WWE's top titles, and, crucially, how fans remember Reigns' legacy. The worst thing he can do at Ford Field this August is to make the one mistake that could undo 5 years of masterful booking, mishandling Roman's endgame. For over a year, rumors have swirled that SummerSlam 2025 could mark the culmination of Roman's epic run. The signs are there. Cody Rhodes is back in the mix, looking to finish the story once and for all. Solo Sikoa, now leading a splinter faction of the Bloodline, has shown he's not content in Roman's shadow. Even the recently returned Jey Uso, having reconciled and rebelled too many times to count, stands ready to stake his final claim. The Bloodline is fraying, the island of relevancy is cracking, and Triple H has the perfect storm for a generational payoff. Yet, this is where the mistake lurks like a trapdoor. There is a temptation, a dangerous one, to squeeze one more main event out of Roman's stranglehold on the title. One more twist. One more swerve. One more screwjob. After all, why fix what's still selling out stadiums? Why not have Roman slip away with the gold again, pushing the story to Survivor Series or WrestleMania 41? It would be easy, but it would be disastrous. Fans love the Tribal Chief, But they're also exhausted. The Bloodline story has become the most cinematic wrestling saga of the modern era, but without a satisfying conclusion, even masterpieces sour. Cody Rhodes losing again would be a repeat heartbreak, but this time not the compelling, motivating heartbreak that fuels underdog chants. It would be the kind that makes people roll their eyes and check out. Triple H, ever the student of wrestling history, knows this better than anyone. He was in the room when fans soured on Triple H, the character monopolizing the World Heavyweight Championship in the Ruthless Aggression era. He watched the backlash when John Cena's never-ending wins pushed some fans away. He's seen Brock Lesnar's part-time run stretched thin. He can't repeat those mistakes now, not with Roman, not with Cody, not with a future that's waiting impatiently in the wings. Back in the creative room, Bruce Pritchard and a few trusted producers toss around scenarios. What if Roman cheats to win again? What if Paul Heyman double-crosses Cody? What if Solo turns again and costs Jay his redemption? The twists are tantalizing. The TV ratings spike whenever Roman holds court. But Triple H stares at the big picture, fingers tapping the table, eyes locked on that circled name. Sometimes, he says finally, voice low but commanding the room, the biggest moment isn't the swerve. It's the payoff. He thinks back to WrestleMania 40. Cody lost that night, but the roar from the Philly crowd when he stood bloodied yet defiant proved the fans would wait a bit longer. But a bit longer can't become forever. A good story knows when to end. The hero must slay the dragon, not let it fly off for another sequel no one asked for. Triple H scribbles a note, SummerSlam equals payoff, not prolonging. There's another danger, too, Roman Reigns himself. No one wants to see him vanish overnight. He's earned his rest, but he's also earned a chance to evolve. Triple H's best move might be to protect Roman's aura even in defeat. A clean, dramatic loss to Cody would cement Reigns' legacy as one of the greatest ever, not just because he won endlessly, but because when he fell, he did so epically. A decisive loss doesn't have to kill the tribal chief character. It can transform him. Maybe Roman disappears for a while, letting the bloodline tear itself apart in his absence. Maybe he returns next year as a lone wolf, stripped of his crown but more dangerous than ever. Maybe he becomes a special attraction, the final boss who only emerges when someone truly worthy steps up. The possibilities are endless, if Triple H doesn't cling to the past out of fear. Back in the locker room, Roman himself knows what's at stake. He's not just playing a character, he's carrying a legacy his family built brick by brick. His cousins, nephews, and maybe even his children will step into this business one day, pointing to this era as proof of what an Anoa'i can be. Roman is a professional. He knows his reign must end with honor, not overexposure. And if there's anyone he trusts to call it right, it's Triple H, the boss who stood beside him when the world still booed him for not being Daniel Bryan, who rebuilt him as the tribal chief when no one else saw it coming. So here stands Triple H, the King of Kings turned executive, pen hovering over the finish line of WWE's greatest modern story. He knows the temptation to milk the saga for another stadium show. He knows the easy route, but also the right one. In that office, under the hum of fluorescent lights and the weight of 5 decades of wrestling history, he has to make the call. Will he let Roman Reigns stand tall one more time, only to watch the audience sigh and drift away? Or will he deliver the catharsis the fans deserve, the victory that lifts Cody Rhodes to the mountaintop and frees Roman to become something new, something even more powerful than a title holder? When SummerSlam 2025 goes live, over 60,000 fans will pack Ford Field. Millions more will stream it around the globe. And in the final moments, when the lights fade, the fireworks burst, and the new champion stands draped in confetti, Triple H's choice will echo through history. A story done right lives forever. A story dragged out dies in silence. If Triple H wants Roman Reigns to remain the tribal chief in legend, not just in name, he must avoid that huge mistake. The world is watching. SummerSlam awaits. The pen is in his hand.